A voice born from quiet places. Rose was born as Roseanne Park on February 11, 1997, in Auckland, New Zealand. She spent her earliest years surrounded by open skies and quiet neighborhoods before her family later moved to Melbourne, Australia, where she grew up. Even from a young age, Rose was a gentle soul, soft-spoken and observant, someone who carried her emotions in her eyes before her voice. Music entered her life not as a career goal, but as comfort. Her father placed a guitar in her small hands, and it was like something inside her unlocked. Rose didn't just learn chords, she learned how to pour emotions into sound. She sang at church, in small rooms, in the corners of her house when no one was watching. Her voice was delicate but haunting, the kind that didn't need to be loud to be felt. But life in Melbourne felt far away from the idea of becoming an idol. K-pop was a distant universe, almost unreachable from her quiet world. Until one day, while still a student, her father encouraged her to audition for the YG Entertainment Global Audition in Sydney. Rose didn't see herself as someone who could stand on a stage among stars. But something inside her, a small brave spark, said try. She walked into the audition room nervously, guitar in hand. And when she began to sing, everything stopped. Her voice wasn't just music. It was emotion, raw and unfiltered. And that was the moment her journey began. Part 2 ******** Part 2. Trainee life. Where dreams break before they rise. If you think becoming a K-pop star is glamorous, erase that image. In YG there were no soft lights, no applause. Only mirrors, sweat, tears and repetition. The first thing Rose learned was that talent wasn't enough. Not even close. Inside those practice rooms, there were girls who could dance harder, sing higher, rap faster. There were trainees who had been fighting for their dream for years. Some had trained since they could walk. Some had already been rejected dozens of times. Some had learned to hide their emotions because showing weakness meant losing your place. And Rose. She came from a quiet life where music was love, not survival. The trainers pushed her. The schedule broke her. And every day felt like a silent question. Are you enough? She wasn't the best dancer. She wasn't the loudest. She wasn't the most confident. Her Korean was rough. Her voice was different from the typical idol style. And some trainees whispered, she won because she's lucky. She won because of her looks. She won because of timing. They didn't know her battle. They didn't see her crying quietly in the stairwell. They didn't hear her whisper to herself, don't give up. Not now. Not yet. Years passed. And then finally the lineup began. For girls. For completely different souls. Jennie, Lisa, Rose. They weren't just teammates. They became pillars holding each other up. And when Blackpink debuted in 2016, the world didn't just watch. It exploded. And the quiet girl from Melbourne. She became the voice of a generation. The storm that tried to silence her success does not protect anyone from criticism. And Rose learned that the hard way. During a vlog filmed in London, Rose casually mentioned that she visited a church belonging to Hillsong, a Christian organization that later became involved in major controversies and backlash due to scandals linked to leadership and ideology. The internet did what the internet does. Clips spread. Accusations flew. People debated her intentions, her beliefs, her character. But here's what was real. Rose was raised Christian. Church was part of her childhood. Part of her identity. Part of her emotional foundation. She didn't support hate. She didn't support any wrongdoing. She didn't promote anything harmful. She simply visited a place that once felt like home. But the controversy spread fast. Too fast. And suddenly, the world that once embraced her turned sharp. For a moment, it looked like her voice might be drowned by noise. But Rose didn't release a statement. She didn't defend herself in anger. She didn't break. Instead, she let her actions speak. Through music, through kindness, through consistency. And slowly, the world remembered who she was. Person. Not a headline. Rose was always known as the emotional heart of Blackpink, The member who felt everything deeply and poured those feelings quietly into her guitar strings and melodies. When she first came to Korea from Australia, she was scared and unsure if she even belonged there. But that was when Jisoo entered her life like a warm hand reaching out in a cold room. Jisoo was her first comfort, the steady laughter in the practice rooms and the calm voice that told her it was okay to cry sometimes. They shared late-night talks in their dorm, where Jisoo would make Rose laugh until she forgot how lonely she felt being away from her family. Jennie, on the other hand, was like a mirror to Rose's artistic spirit. She saw something in Rose that Rose hadn't yet seen in herself, a voice not just to sing songs but to tell stories. They spent countless nights in the studio, Jennie encouraging her every time she doubted her own sound, guiding her gently, not as a leader or a teammate, but as someone who understood how frightening it is to open your heart through music. And Lisa, bright and luminous, was the joy Rose needed to breathe. Lisa made her laugh in the dullest days, brought silliness into heavy moments, and reminded her that life was not only about perfection, but also about play. With Lisa, Rose could be her youngest self again. Loud laughter, ridiculous jokes, inside laughter the world would never understand. Together, the three of them didn't just treat Rose as a member of a group. They treated her like family, like someone precious who needed to be protected and uplifted, because they all knew how fragile and golden her heart was. And it was this love, this complicated, warm, real sisterhood, that shaped Rose's music. When she sits with her guitar, she is not just writing lyrics, she is emptying her soul. Her songs come from the spaces between joy and sadness, between success and loneliness. She writes about searching for meaning, about how the world sees the spotlight but never sees the nights spent wondering if she is enough. On the ground was her realization that everything she had ever chased, fame, recognition, applause, meant nothing without emotional grounding. Gone, though many take it as a simple love song, was Rose saying goodbye to versions of herself she had outgrown, the gentle heartbreak of maturing. Every lyric, every melody, comes from a place of truth. She doesn't write to impress. She writes to feel, to understand, to heal. And the other members know this. So when Rose sings, they listen with silence and respect, because they know they are hearing pieces of her heart, vulnerable and unguarded. Rose is loved not just because of her talent, but because of the way she loves, gently, honestly, and with everything inside her. She is the quiet flame at the center of Blackpink, glowing softly, never demanding attention, yet impossible not to feel. The girl who became her own light when Rose debuted as a solo artist with On the Ground and later Gone. She didn't just release songs. She released herself. Her voice, raw, trembling, emotional, was finally centered. She performed on global stages. She became a fashion icon. She walked runways. She graced magazine covers. Her name echoed across continents, not because she tried to be someone else, but because she embraced the girl she always was. The girl with a guitar. The girl who sang to feel okay. The girl who held pain like a melody. Now, she stands not just as a K-pop idol, not just as Blackpink's vocalist, but as a symbol that you can be soft and still be strong, that you can be gentle and still be unstoppable, that your voice matters, even if it starts as a whisper. Rose didn't become a star because the world chose her. She became a star because she refused to stop shining. The weight of spotlight. When success feels heavy, but success, as dazzling as it appears from the outside, carries a shadow that only those in its center can feel. When Rose stood under blinding lights and heard crowds scream her name, the world believed she was living a dream. And yes, there was joy, gratitude, a sense of finally breathing after years underwater. But there was also pressure, constant, relentless, the kind that sits heavy on your chest even in silence. There were days the flower in full bloom, expanded. Rose's success did not simply appear. It arrived like a sunrise that the world had been waiting for. After years of practice rooms, tears, and nights spent questioning her worth, her name began to shine on its own. When she finally stepped into the world as a solo artist, it wasn't just a release. It was a declaration. Her solo debut single, On the Ground, became a global phenomenon. The lyrics didn't just tell a story, they revealed her heart. The song spoke of chasing dreams, of realizing that what truly matters is not the applause, but the meaning behind each step. It topped charts around the world and became the most viewed music video by a female Korean soloist in 24 hours. Then came Gone, a quieter, aching confessional. Stripped back, raw, and vulnerable, it showed the world a Rose who wasn't afraid to break and let the world hear the sound of it. Where many idols hid their heartbreak, Rose sang hers. Years later, Rose returned with a new solo era. The soft, dreamy single Vampire Holly and the emotional resonance of Alive further proved her evolution. But the world stopped when Rose stepped into a once-in-a-lifetime collaboration, APT, released with none other than Bruno Mars. Their voices blended like two stories that were always meant to intertwine, soulful, warm, and painfully human. It wasn't just a song, it was a moment in pop history. But Rose didn't just conquer music. She stepped into fashion and stood as if the runway was built beneath her feet. She became a global ambassador for Saint Laurent, walking red carpets and attending fashion shows where cameras didn't just take pictures, they documented history. She formed friendships with some of the most influential figures in the industry: Dua Lipa, Bella Poarch, Olivia Rodrigo, Jenny Kim, and more. Not as someone trying to fit in, but as someone who naturally belonged. From award stages to Paris Fashion Week, from recording studios to world tours, Rose stood not as the girl who was once afraid she wasn't enough, but as the woman who realized she always was. She didn't simply become famous. She bloomed, expanded success and solo career, but Rosé's journey did not end at group success. In 2021, she stepped into the spotlight alone with her debut solo project, releasing the single album R. The lead track, On the Ground, was more than a song. It was a statement, a reflection, a confession that fame and acclaim mean nothing if one loses sight of the person within. She sang of chasing dreams, of searching for meaning, of discovering that sometimes what we seek has always been inside us. The world resonated. The song broke records, topping charts across countries, and earning her millions of streams in hours. And then there was Gone, a stripped-down heartbreak anthem that reminded fans why her voice is considered one of the most emotive in K-pop. But Rose was not just a singer. She became a global icon of style and elegance. She stepped onto runways and Fashion Week front rows, glowing under camera lights like she was born for them. She walked carpets for Saint Laurent, a brand. Rose was born into a loving and supportive family, the kind of family that believed in dreams even when those dreams sounded impossible. Her father was the one who noticed her talent before anyone else did. He heard the way she sang around the house, how her voice naturally carried emotion, and he encouraged her gently, telling her she had something special. Her mother, graceful and warm, was her emotional anchor, the person Rose turned to when the world felt overwhelming. And her older sister, Alice, was her first best friend, someone who protected her and teased her in equal measure, grounding her with the comfort of home. When Rose moved to Korea to train, she left that world behind, but she never forgot it. She carried her family in her voice, in her quiet strength, and in her gentle way of loving others. In Korea, her circle of friends grew slowly, because Rose is the type of person who doesn't open her heart easily. When she cares deeply. Blackpink became her family away from home. Jisoo with her steady warmth, Jennie with her artistic understanding, and Lisa with her laughter. They all became the sisters she chose, the ones who held her during stressful nights and celebrated with her during the best ones. Even outside the group, her friendships remained soft and sincere. Rose chooses people who are genuine, kind, and grounded. She is drawn to quiet loyalty more than loud attention. Her relationship with fans is where you see her heart most clearly. Rose treats her fans with such sincerity that it feels personal. She reads their messages carefully, remembers faces from concerts, and thanks them in a way that sounds like she truly means it. She speaks gently, like she wants every fan to feel seen. When she performs and sees fans holding banners with her name, her eyes soften. You can see gratitude, emotion, and disbelief that people love her this much. And her fans love her deeply in return, not just because she is talented, but because she is genuine. They protect her, defend her, and celebrate her smallest achievements. They love her voice, but they also love her heart. The way she gets shy when complimented, the way she smiles softly when she laughs, the way she tries her best even when she's tired. Rosé's world is built on love that is quiet but strong. From her family who raised her, to the friends who became her home, to the fans who see her for who she truly is. And she gives that love back in every note she sings.